All right. Hello, everyone. Hello. Let's get going. Good afternoon. The session today, we're going to be talking about customer experience. There's significant movement in the industry about customer experience, the value of customer experience, how important it is for organizations today. Actually, I have a question. Who here went to Fred's session yesterday? Okay, perfect. So for you, it would be customer experience was talked about quite a bit yesterday, and how CRM is pivotal to kind of this journey that customers are going through. This is going to be a bit of an extension of that. It's going to be a bit of a how do you implement and how do you help organizations deliver excellent customer experience. So first of all, my name is Mike Mendoza. I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager for the Microsoft Dynamics CRM Product Marketing Group. I'm new to Microsoft. I'm about 8 months into Microsoft. And I think if you know anybody who works with Microsoft who's been new, every month kind of feels like a year. So I feel like I've been here 8 years. I'm really excited that you're actually here to talk about customer experience because this is a bit of my passion. This is my background. I have 15 years of experience within the customer service, contact center, and customer experience arena. So absolutely happy to share this with you. A little bit of housekeeping. We've got an hour session. I would like to leave about 10 minutes of questions in the end to make sure if you have any questions that we can answer. If we kind of run out of time, because we have about 3 hours worth of content that we're going to try and slam down in 50 minutes. So if you run out of time, I'm going to be around afterwards. And I'm also going to be down in the booth area if you have any further questions. And of course, feel free to contact me with the normal contact information. All right? So we're going to talk about kind of the business value of customer experience, what we're seeing in the industry, what our customers are telling us, what's driving the momentum, and what's driving the spend in customer experience. Hopefully, I'd like for you to come out of here with a little bit of a framework as well on how to engage with your customers in helping them improve a customer experience. And then I also want to talk about how Microsoft CRM helps you deliver on that and what's different and unique about us. So that's kind of our agenda. To help me with this is we've got just a wonderful opportunity to have a couple of our partners come up. Eric will be here. Eric will tell you a little bit more about his experience. I think you guys will really enjoy it. He's going to be talking a little bit about how do you kind of start the journey of customer experience from the field, right? A little bit of, battle scars. Yes, perhaps. And Nikhil will be here, who is one of our partners that will kind of give you a little bit more insight from an ISV perspective, how we work with CRM, how you deliver customer experience. So I think it'll be a great show. Let's talk about the age of the connected customer. If you guys were at Fred's session yesterday, you would have seen this already. Customers have evolved from buyers to connected consumers. I think we know this intimately because of our dealings personally. The story I love to tell is my own personal story. I moved to Seattle, like I said, about 8-9 months ago. And I found myself really not knowing where anything is. Has anybody here used Yelp? Yeah? Okay. So Yelp, as you know, is the best way to find restaurants. And for those of us that travel quite a bit, it's absolutely invaluable. And for me, living in a new city, it was something I was using 3 times a day. It was everything, restaurants, bakeries, auto mechanics, everything. And it got me wondering, what is the business value of Yelp? And sure enough, somebody did a study. A gentleman by the name of Michael DeLuca from Harvard basically studied the impact of Yelp on businesses. So for those of you that don't know, Yelp is very simple, right? You basically rank a business. 1 star, you suck. 5 stars, you're absolutely amazing. Very simple. And it just aggregates up, averages up, so you can go from 2 star to 3 star to 4, and then back down again, depending on what people are saying and ranking you as. What he found is that for every 1 star increase in ranking for a restaurant, it equated to a 9% increase in revenue. A 1 star decrease, exactly the same thing happened, a 9% decrease in revenue. So I encourage you to take a look at what he wrote. Michael DeLuca, he's got all the necessary, mathematical formulas to show correlation, causation, stuff that I don't understand. But the intent of what he was showing is that the impact of the connected consumer has been felt by all facets of the industry. He also found one really interesting thing is that large organizations don't kind of go up and down as fast as smaller organizations in terms of their revenue based on their star ranking. What he found was there's a general revenue shift from the big restaurants, the big chains, the ones that we all know, to the smaller guys, the more independent guys, the guys that don't spend a lot on real estate, location, advertising. So it kind of equalizes the field a little bit. So really interesting study for a very simple social forum like Yelp and how it impacts the industry. This actually has been found to be prevalent across industries as well. This is a study by Watermark Consulting. Every year, Forrester Research publishes the Customer Experience Index. Anybody here heard? No? About it? A little bit? Okay, so Customer Experience Index, every year, Forrester Research publishes who's got the top customer experience and who's got the bottom. What Watermark Consulting did is really interesting. What they did is they followed the rate of return on their shares for a 5-year period. And this is what they found. The folks that are customer experience leaders delivered, as you can see, 25% over the market and about 128% over the laggards. It's just a tremendous kind of validation that customer experience is now driving competitive advantage within organizations. I don't like that slide. You saw the Metro Bank example yesterday. For those of you that were in Fred's session, tremendous. They are the first bank in 100 years to open in High Street. And they're penetrating this really competitive, really closed-down industry through customer experience. What you didn't see yesterday, if you saw the Metro Bank kind of discussion, is how well they're doing. They're just kicking it. All because of the fact that they're basically differentiating themselves and their ability to deliver customer experience. And we're very proud that, along with our partner Cyber, we're helping them make that real. One thing that they're doing that's really interesting is now they're going to start doing things like video calling so that their most valuable customers can call a teller, an account rep, a dedicated account rep, and do it by video instead of just by phone. Because they feel, again, it differentiates them from just calling and waiting on the line. Customer experience is also driving tremendous spend in the industry because customer service is so linked to the ability of organizations to drive customer experience. As you can see here, this is from Gartner. This is where majority of innovation, this is where the majority of focus from organizations and spending is coming from. So if you're a partner, along with Microsoft, we feel this is an absolute opportunity. This is an absolute way for us to become more important to our customers by helping them improve their customer experience. So that was kind of the very, very quick summary on kind of the customer experience piece, why it's important. We feel that we can help our partners deliver on this. In fact, our customers and our partners are important pieces of this journey, as you'll see. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do, what framework we're going to use. Ideally, something you can take away, and hopefully it'll be useful for you. How many of you here kind of get involved in customer experience improvement initiatives, both within your organization? Awesome. How about for others? I know you are, but that's not fair. But how about for customers? You get perfect. Anybody here a customer experience expert? I need help. Okay, perfect. So the customer experience concept, what do we see? What are the things that we feel we can help with? And what are the trends in the industry? You've seen most of these already. Everything from collaboration is tremendously important because as we've spent the past 20 years automating interactions, deflecting calls, all these sorts of things. But the calls and the interactions that do end up that we have to handle with are significantly more complex. So collaboration becomes even more important. Engaged employees, and that means providing them the tools that makes their job easier, that they feel empowered, and they have the insight to take action. The rise of the customer. The opportunity in customer experience is that folks are willing to spend more money if you deliver a customer experience that they agree with. So let's talk about getting there. I'm actually not going to talk about this part. So this framework here is a very, we felt we wanted to give you a really consolidated, really crisp way to kind of go down the customer experience road and have that engagement with your customers. So really, it's just a 4-point framework. It's all about starting off with understanding the journey, the current journey. And that's the journey of your customers, their customers, understanding and focusing in on which is most important. Then going into designing for the value. Eric will actually help come up and talk about this. And then building the optimal path and harnessing the power of CRM. Nikhil will kind of help us tell this story. So, Eric, can I ask you to come up? Eric, so just for a quick moment, just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you guys do, and what you focus on, and share some stories.
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. Good afternoon. Thanks, Mike. So my name is Eric Lebrader. I am a managing director with Accenture. If you don't know Accenture, we're a global systems integrator. We do a lot, but we deliver a lot of CRM-type solutions, customer experience solutions. I've been doing that for 23 years with customers, but also for the last 6 years, I'm responsible for driving and growing our global dynamic CRM practice within Accenture. So that's a little bit about me, and I do have plenty of battle scars that I'll allude to throughout this discussion. Let me just make sure. I only have one slide, which for me and Accenture is almost unheard of, but trying to encapsulate it. And what I'm going to talk about here are some of the lessons learned that we've had, the trends that we're seeing, ultimately what enables a successful transformation, if you will. Obviously Dynamics CRM is our underlying technology here, but this is about transformation. And what I will not talk much about in the next 10 minutes is about technology. You've heard a lot about that. Technology is important, but I think what we found quite frankly, especially with our largest enterprise customers. Hello? Okay. I'll stand right here. What we learn with our enterprise customers is that what actually makes for success is not the technology alone, but it's all what you do around it. And part of our job is to work with our customers to help them understand how to get from A to Z and how to be successful. And to pare it down to one slide, and these are seven key frameworks, lessons learned that we've come across, to enable success. And I'll give a little bit of, some color commentary on each. Leadership alignment and ownership, i.e. sponsorship. This is about making sure top-down that the executives in the organization are supporting the initiative and are driving it down. Not just with their action, not just with their words, because words are obviously important, and you have to hear that. It's very impactful to have your VP of sales get up there and talk about, new things we're going to do for the company, new changes, and when the people on the team hear this from their leaders, it resonates. But also in their actions. I mean, how many times do you have leadership, encourage or support a new solution, if you will, but ultimately themselves not use it? And if you have your leadership going back and managing the business via spreadsheet and not managing it with what you've developed, obviously it doesn't resonate the right message. So having that sponsorship from the beginning and going forward is critical. The business case is paramount. Mike mentioned the notion of value, and that's what it's all about. The notion of we need to replace something, we need to have a new solution, that doesn't do it. You need to literally tie what you're doing to a business case. And it's pretty common for a business case to be developed, and then once you've sold the project, you put it on the shelf and you walk away. What we're seeing today is that's not good enough. That's not acceptable. The business case lives, and ultimately it's how you measure and how you know you're successful, and ultimately we always start with the end in mind. So again, before we kind of develop anything is, what are you trying to do? What's the end game? How are you going to measure it? And then ultimately the technology gets developed and designed to enable those outcomes. But if you don't have the business case, you can't justify. In this day and age, you can't even get the thing off the ground. So that's critical to have. Users, at the end of the day, this is all about the end user. And especially if you've worked with sales organizations, I think we all know that probably the single biggest concern echoed by salespeople is this: what you've developed for me is not for me, it's for management. All I'm doing is I'm putting information in, I'm not getting anything out. So it's critical to make sure that whatever it is we are doing with the customer experience in mind, it is adding value to your end user, whether it be a salesperson, a call center agent, what have you. But that is key to adoption, which I'll get to in a moment, which ultimately is the end game here. Being business process led versus technology, everything has to be put these days in an industry context. The generic story does not resonate. So whether it be banking, insurance, consumer packaged goods, you name it, it's critical that the work that we do be in the context of their business, and that ultimately we enable the process first. Again, technology ultimately, right, is the enabler. It's not the end game, and people forget that sometimes. And ultimately, that is another critical aspect of engagement and adoption. This fifth one here is critical too. So this is a bit on the technology side. So the whole notion of collaborative development and speed to value. I mean, this is not new, but clients more and more, they want to see it fast, and they want to take advantage of technologies like Dynamics to be able to get there fast and be iterative. So the days of the big bang approach of let's all do it over 6 months and then have it go live and hope it goes well also does not play. What clients are looking for is how do you help me stand up quickly? How do you help me iterate on the fly? How do you help me be agile? Which I know can often is a 4-letter word for me as far as what agile means, but ultimately it does mean being iterative and being able to show results quickly, and that's also a way of keeping the team engaged throughout. Waiting 6 months to see what it looks like doesn't play. Being able to see it evolve and being part of it, that ownership, also critical to end success. Ultimately, change management and adoption. This is, at the end of the day, this is oftentimes historically has been the thing that gets cut first. We don't have money for that. It'll take care of itself. We'll train them. It's over. Appreciating that change management does not just equal training is critical. And change management and the notion of preparing for that go live, starting that 1 year in advance, and recognizing that it doesn't end on the day of go live, it continues, beyond that first day is critical. And ultimately, we know that the biggest reason for failure for CRM, more broadly speaking, is no one's using it. So you may have done the right stuff, you may have built the right solution, it might be a great tool, but if no one's using it, then that's it. That's the bottom line. And then high quality governance is just the notion of, it's so critical to have that level of escalation, that level of project management. Again, oftentimes people think, oh, it's easy, we'll just slam something in. Again, those days are gone. The notion of managing scope, managing what you're doing, and being able to represent globally what you're trying to do, and having that right escalation path in advance, having that set up from day one, and executing to it diligently, also key to success. And one thing I'll say is, these thoughts and comments are not necessarily anything new. I'm sure you've heard this and said this to your clients as well. The difference for me is what I'm seeing today, people are actually starting to believe it. Historically, they would talk about it, but then at the end of the day, it was just basically, let's just get the technology out there and move on. But I'm seeing customers today come to us saying, you know what, we've been doing this for 3 years, or we've tried 2 or 3 times, not with Microsoft, of course, with other solutions, but we failed, and we want to do it better this time. I'm literally having clients come to us now saying, you know what, we want to make sure we put an emphasis on change management and adoption, because we know that's why we failed before, and to us, it's as important as the technology. And that was not being said, in the years past. So I'm just seeing that as a trend. Customers are seeing the value. They know why they failed in the past, and they know that guidelines and parameters like this is what makes the difference. And what we do, Accenture, is based on our experiences, is tell this story and ensure that these projects are established this way, run this way, and ultimately deliver what the end value is, delivering value versus delivering a tool. So that really is the story, and this is a summary of sort of our point of view on this space. So we'll take questions at the end. So I guess with that, I'll just turn it back over to you, Mike. Thank you.
Sorry, I will put you on the spot.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So most partners that are here, Accenture, you guys have thousands and thousands and thousands of consultants everywhere. You got all these resources to manage your customers. So for those of us that are here, us partners that are not as big as Accenture, if you could say, of this, how would you make this something that other partners could potentially use and leverage? Not that we want to give away the Accenture secret sauce.
It's unleverageable. You guys can't use this at all. This will not work for you. Don't even listen to this. Just no, kidding. For me, at the end of the day, it's how you go in, right? Again, I can't speak for all the folks in the room and the clients you deal with, but we deal obviously in the enterprise space, and the truth is, customers often just underestimate what is involved in doing this, because again, they think about it as technology, and it seems easy, and it comes out of the box, right? It's almost there. It should be so easy, but ultimately, it's not. And again, as easy as it may sound, we know and we hear about how often these projects fail. And why they fail is because at the end of the day, they don't deliver the business value. They might look good, and they might meet what was asked for, but if people aren't using it, and if it's not bringing back the business case, then it's not deemed a success. And this is a journey, right? So ultimately, being successful, going live with something that shows immediate value, that's the best key to the roadmap, right? The roadmap always sounds great because, we'll do 5 stages, but oftentimes you never get past the first one. And that's why oftentimes users, say, we have to get it all in there on the first try because there'll never be a second try. That's oftentimes because they haven't done it successful the first time. So knowing that and bringing that perspective to customers, to me, is the most important thing. It's easy to kind of just get in there, sell the deal, slam something in that is fast and dirty, and we get paid for it. But the key is to make them really step back and appreciate that has failed in the past, and you've probably failed before that way, Mr. Customer. So if you want to be successful, ultimately, this is the right way to do it. And we've seen that over years of experience. And like I said, clients are now starting to get it and agree and say, yes, you're right, we tried, we're going to do it differently in the future. So that's good. That helps us. But that, to me, I guess, is my point to you is bring this to your clients and don't go in there just thinking technology. Bring this perspective and fight for it because it's worth it. In the end, they'll hopefully thank you someday. Maybe not right away, but down the road, they'll thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric.
All right,
Give him a
thank you.
hand. So we went through the process, goal setting, ensuring that we deliver business value, finding true north. Those are absolutely critical. Let's talk about the technology piece now. Yesterday, we talked a lot about Orion. Fred talked about the roadmap, talked about the capabilities. And what I'd like you to kind of see CRM now, given that it's a customer experience focused session we're running here, is that it's really a tool set. It's a customer experience framework. We bring everything that you're going to need, and then some, to ensure that you, your customers, are able to deliver a better customer experience. In fact, I feel that there's really, once Orion releases in October, you're going to see that we're already leaps and bounds above, especially from a user experience perspective. Eric mentioned how important adoption is. It's still the number one reason why CRM fails. Adoption. We're changing that paradigm. We blew it away. I think from everything that our customers have said, I'll share with you a little story. My Fred Studer was in a meeting with the CIO of Northwestern Mutual, and the CIO pulled open his laptop and said, "Fred, I want to show you how easy this new Orion UI is to use. Even I can use it." And then he pulled up Fred's account. And he started saying, "Oh, Fred, you should probably invest in this and that and this and that." And Fred was in a meeting with him and feeling a little kind of vulnerable because this guy knew everything about him. But I want to talk about 4 kind of key things. The user experience and guidance that we've just introduced, the integrated marketing, ubiquitous social, important elements, and multi-channel. And I won't be talking about multi-channel. Nikhil, who's our expert, will be talking a lot about that. So we talked yesterday about how Orion changes the game for us. It starts with intuitive design, a simple user interface, fundamentally easier to use, empowers your agent, your salesperson, to deliver the experience you want at the right time, with the right amount of information, and to be able to collaborate and get the necessary information when they need it. We talked about the navigation piece. And the fact that now, especially with the quick create capabilities, you can do so effectively and efficiently. We also talked about the communication capabilities, fundamental, and process agility. From a user experience perspective, we feel that this is absolutely what's critical to ensure that your customers are able to talk customer experience. When they think about delivering the right experience at the right time, user experience of CRM really is the piece that enables that. I also want to touch a little bit on kind of the marketing piece, right? Ensuring that when you talk about customer experience, you start from the beginning, from when you're trying to create awareness, when you're trying to create decisions and engagement. And as you nurture that person from a prospect who's just aware of you, to a prospect that's now engaged with you, to a prospect that now you need to serve and support and retain. And ensuring that that's part of both end-to-end scenarios, right? From nurture, from match, nurture, engage, all the way around. And we talked a little bit about social collaboration and how that's important, especially given the fact that now most of these capabilities and most of your customers now engage with you on the social arena first. And now we're going to talk about interactions. And I'm going to ask Nikhil to come up. Nikhil, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Can you hear me okay? All right. So hi, everyone. My name is Nikhil Govindaraj. I take care of product management for Moxie Software. A few words about Moxie. We provide multi-channel solutions for contact centers, and we can work independently, but we work better when we work in partnership with Dynamics as the CRM platform. So let's take a step back and look at the world that we live in. We live in a multi-channel world today, right? You are on various devices, you're on various channels, and the reality is that when you reach out to a company, whether it's trying to research a particular product or service, whether you're trying to get support on a particular product or service. It all depends on your circumstances, right? At times, you might use email. At times, you just want to pick up the phone and deal with it, right? Sometimes you use SMS. Sometimes you don't want to talk to anybody. You just want to use Google. Oops, I meant Bing. We live in a multi-channel world. And this is data from Forrester, right? This is data from last year's report that talks about your channel preferences. And if you were to look at the data over the last few years, you'll see that phone is still king. That 1-800 number is not going away soon. But phone is steadily losing its edge to other channels, right? And the channels that are coming up are channels like social, like virtual agent technology, like screen sharing, where you can share the customer's screen, like email, like chat, and so on, right? So what does this mean to companies? This means that you, Mr. Company, your customers, need to have a strategy in place to engage customers where they are. I'm on your website, I'm on the phone, I'm on the Twitter channel, etc. Your challenge or your opportunity when you talk to your customers is to provide them with solutions that enable them to deliver exceptional experiences across all these channels without breaking the bank, right? So that's what we do, Moxie Software. We allow customers to engage with the end consumer across all these channels in any scenario, a sales scenario, a customer support scenario, and we plug ourselves on top of Dynamics CRM so that at the end of the day, all these transactions that you have across all these channels are stored in one place. Dynamics is your system of record. We build your 360-degree profile of your customers in Dynamics. Then you can use that great, rich data set of information for all other activities, such as marketing activities or outbound activities, and so on and so forth. So how do we do this? It's pretty simple. At the end of the day, think of us. We are the yellowish orange layer, right? Moxie is the transaction layer. We are the engagement layer. We allow you to handle all the inbound communications that come from your customers. We are literally at the front line, right? We are when that email comes in or that chat comes in, we provide with the agent desktop that helps you handle that particular transaction efficiently. Now, when you talk to contact centers, you know what contact centers are all about, right? They're all about efficiencies. It's all about driving better SLAs, reducing the average handle time, right? So contact centers work very differently in the context of CRM. We understand that, and we provide you solutions that help you drive those efficiencies. Mike talked a lot about customer experience, right? And if you think about it, at the end of the day, what do you as a consumer want when you engage with a company? The reality is that you prefer not to engage, right? You just want it all there. If you had an option, you would snap a finger and you would get the answer to the question that you have. But that's of course not possible. So what you want is you want to find the answer to the question that you've got, right? You would like to find the answer on your own. And if that doesn't work, you would like to talk to a knowledgeable person, typically somebody who works for the company and is aware of the products and services. And what you would really like, I mean, the icing would be if when you talk to somebody, they knew a little bit about you, right? They knew what you have purchased. They knew when you last contacted them and so on and so forth, right? So if you think about a customer experience, from an engagement point of view, you can really break it down into three pieces, right? It's the channel of choice. It's the answer. That's the tricky part, right? It's how do you get the right answer? And working with great solutions from Microsoft, like Yammer, like Skype, et cetera, you have all the infrastructure that you need to get to the right answer, regardless of where it lies within your company. And then, of course, it's knowing the person. And that's your CRM data, right? You know that your name, I as agent know that your name is Ben, your favorite color is blue, your anniversary falls on next Thursday, and so on and so forth. So if you can provide that information as part of that engagement, you win. you get to keep the customer. You get the customer to refer their friends and family and so on, right? So that is really what makes a great customer experience. And the role that we play is serving as that engagement layer by tapping into all these different pieces of information that you have within the ecosystem. So now let's kind of break it down. And I'm going to really run through this fast because we've got a ton of content. The various channels that we provide to you, chat is one channel. We have hundreds of customers who use us for chat. And chat really it's all about retaining the channel that you're on. When you're on the website and you have a question, you don't want to pick up the phone. You don't want to alt-tab to Facebook or Twitter. You don't want to, you just want to stay in the channel. And what we do with chat is that you have a button there. You can click chat, and you can start chatting with an expert. Some of our large customers use us for chat. Skype, for example, is a great customer. Skype does a couple of 100,000 chat sessions a month with using Moxie technology. We also have many other customers like 3M, and I'm going to quickly breeze through these. Staples, retails. Our largest customers span many verticals, including financial services, retail, telcos, healthcare, and so on. Sales chat is all about how you can drive revenue using chat. So this is a sales scenario when you have a question, and you can use chat to get the answer, talking to a sales expert. And as part of that transaction, your information is captured, stored in Dynamics. You create a lead. You create the appropriate case record. And then you can follow up with the lead at a later point in time using lead assignment rules. So some examples would be, large customers like Dell, drive the majority of their consumer business using chat online. So when you're trying to, configure your laptop or desktop, we can proactively pop a chat request, engage customers, and so on. Some of the other examples would be folks like Nationwide Insurance, US Auto Parts, a smaller company, and so on. Knowledge is all about content, right? We talked about answers and how you need to get the right answer back to a customer efficiently. So knowledge plays a very key part of this entire process, and we enable knowledge embedded within Dynamics CRM as part of your case management, as part of your case resolution. Some of customers who use knowledge today would include, large retailers like Gap, like Epson, and many others. Web self-service, on the other hand, is knowledge that customers can use on their own, right? We expose that to search engines like Bing so that you can search for the answer, and web self-service will ensure that the search engine captures the answer and takes you right back to the article of reference. So again, it enables you to lower your costs of support dramatically, right? So you're not paying for a chat session or a phone call. Your cost per customer interaction is dramatically low. eBay, for example, Barnes & Noble, these are all some of our marquee accounts. Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to speed through these. Email, we provide large volume email routing as well. So you can use email in conjunction with Dynamics CRM. So that way, you have a single agent desktop for all your multi-channel. And these are some examples of email customers. I'm going to fire through them really fast. And this is the one that I really wanted to spend some time on. Link is, we've enabled Link for contact centers today. And we believe that opens a dramatic, big market opportunity both for Dynamics CRM and us, because we provide the routing for Link. So essentially, when a Link call comes in, we can route that Link phone call to the appropriate agent based on skill set, based on customer priority. We can do a data dip into Dynamics and find out the customer profile. And then agents can now provide customer service on phone, which means that you're not using expensive systems like Avaya or Genesys or Nortel, but you can now leverage Link within contact centers for phone. So we essentially tie Dynamics and Link together using the Moxie Agent desktop, and we believe this is a huge opportunity that we would love to take to market, with you as partners. So that was it. A quick word from me at Moxie. If you have any questions or if you'd like to get more information, I'm going to be hanging around after this. But until then, back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Nikhil. I do have a question for you. So, as an ISV, working with the Microsoft Dynamics team, how would you position the solution? What advice would you give for other ISVs looking to build solutions on Dynamics?
Work with you and Ben. I mean, you guys have been fantastic, right? We found that the contact center market is really ripe for innovation today, right? And we identified that as an opportunity, and we worked with Dynamics to actually, I think, fill a key gap there. Tap us when you are competing with the likes of Salesforce.com, Oracle right now, or SAP and eGain. So work with us in Dynamics when you're in the contact center, when you have an opportunity to actually compete with those guys. So that's where you would stand the best benefit of leveraging us. Microsoft has been a great partner, and we believe that this is a great opportunity for us to go after together. Thank you.
So I just want to cap off with kind of what's unique, differentiated about Dynamics and about the Microsoft story when we're talking about customer experience. And I don't know how many people know this, but Microsoft runs on Dynamics. We have about 120,000 seats of Dynamics. And as we are transforming as an organization from, to services, devices, Dynamics is supporting that transformation. It's in the places that you would think: Salesforce automation, customer support. In fact, what we're doing is we're taking some of the capabilities that we've developed internally because we're using it, and we're taking some of that and leveraging that and bringing that to market. When we talk about best-in-class case management that we're looking to deliver in our roadmap, this is really leveraging a lot of the inbuilt capabilities that we've essentially grown and built out for our own customers. Secondly, our vision kind of goes beyond Dynamics as the customer experience platform. Really, we're looking at it from the fact that we feel we're unique because we can go from the living room all the way to the back room. We have assets. You guys have seen Skype and Link integration that was announced, I believe, a month ago, something like that. We're taking that. We're leveraging that. We're taking that capability. We use Dynamics in Microsoft stores today. So what does that mean for our retail capabilities? We're looking at that. We're then taking that all the way back, and the most important part that actually kind of lights up this scenario are the partners, you guys. Right? Because with the solution that you build, with the capabilities you bring, this is what lights up this scenario. We bring the stack, we bring the kits, we bring the framework, but you guys are the ones that are going to light this up. And we're really excited to go down this road. Just a word on, this was covered yesterday, if you guys were at Fred's session, on what are the kind of core kind of capabilities we're bringing. I think you guys have seen most of this. I won't cover this in the interest of time, but really it's talking about the fact that social analytics, customer care, social care, mobile are all parts of our investment strategy. I'm going to go through this really quick. And then we just announced our licensing yesterday. Right? Ultimate in value and flexibility. So you get a platform of choice, you get the capabilities, you get the roadmap, and you have the value. And I want to share with you, just to cap off, a story of a customer that's doing this today. Oh. No audio. Let's see. Can you read lips? Okay. We'll skip that. So, call to action. Get involved in the conversation. Participate in the training blitz. We're going to be covering a whole service scenario. I'm going to be giving it. So please feel free to sign up for that. There's a lot more that we're going to cover there that we're not able to cover here. And let us know what you think about the session. And we're going to leave just enough time just for questions, just on time. Thank you.